Hello, this is Carl Schlerman. I am a solutions consultant with Beyond 20, and the purpose of this video is to demonstrate some of the new features that have recently come out in Cherwell 9.6. Specifically, we're going to be looking at using stored values and variables, and we're going to see how the new feature works in 9.6. It's slightly different than in older versions of Cherwell. So as you can see on my screen, I'm in a one-step, and this is the traditional way that we've built stored values in the past. You would go and you would select one of your actions down here at the bottom. You would select update a variable or stored value. You drag it over to your one step, and this was pretty much a linear creating a stored value or a variable in this particular step on the one step. So, and then you would go through and you'd create another variable or stored value and so forth all the way throughout your stored, your one step. So in 9.6, Cherwell has released an update to how we can create these stored values and variables in a single step. So now I've come into a 9.6 out of the box environment. And so we're going to go ahead and go to managers and then one steps. And we're going to go ahead and just create a test one step that we can add some stored values and variables to. And we'll just give it a clever name of test. So once we are in the one step, you can see that we still have that option as we did in the older version of Cherwell to update variables and stored values. I can go ahead and bring it and drop it into my one step. And now you can see that we have a different user interface down below where we can begin to configure our variables and stored values. The one really neat feature that they've added is that instead of having multiple steps throughout my one step for a single variable or stored value, I can now create multiple all in this single step. So for example, we can go ahead and we can create a variable, and we'll just call it variable test, and we'll go ahead and just pick a value from our incident object to store that in a variable. And then if I want to create another variable, I can simply click on the add button, and we can go ahead and set up our next variable. And once again, we'll select another variable from our incident object. And so you can see what it does is it just starts to compile a list over here in this area. We can go ahead and we'll just throw in a stored value. So I can come into my stored value manager and I can just select one of the stored values, and I can give this a name as well. One important thing to note is that as you start putting all of your stored values and variables into this list, you also have the ability to move them up and down. They do execute in order from top to bottom. So if one of your stored values or variables needs to be populated in a particular order, you can simply select your item and then put it in the appropriate placement. So once you have all of your variables and stored values configured, you can continue to build out your one step and perform whatever function that you want, whether you're going to send an email using those stored values, update a business object, etc. But just to quickly demonstrate, that we have a new way of creating variables and stored values in this nice compact form in Cherwell version 9.6. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you were able to learn something about the new feature in 9.6 on how to manage your stored values and variables. Thank you very much, and have a great day.